You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You don't need to flinch when someone pushes your buttons. Real power doesn't come from how fast you can react. It comes from how deeply you can remain still. It's that silence that comes, that's presence. And presence speaks louder than noise ever could when you're truly present. When you're in control of yourself, people feel it. They sense it. You're not moved by every comment, every shift in energy, every ego battle. You're anchored. And that's rare because most people are just reacting. Reacting to fear, to insecurity, to the need to be seen. But when you don't need to prove anything, that's when everything starts to notice you. It's easy to react. It takes nothing but a fragile ego and a short fuse. But staying composed, that's strength, that's discipline, that's confidence without performance. And in a world full of noise, presence is the most magnetic frequency you can carry. When you walk into a room and your spirit doesn't flinch, you don't have to chase attention. You are the attention. So the next time something tries to pull a reaction out of you, pause, breathe, and remember, the one who controls the energy controls the room. Power isn't in the reaction, it's in the presence. When you're not desperate to be seen, that's when people start to look. When you're not chasing, not over-explaining, not needing to prove your worth, that's when your value becomes undeniable. The magnetism of detachment isn't about not caring. It's about knowing your worth with or without someone else's recognition. People are drawn to what they can't easily figure out. We're wired that way. And when you're not always available, not always reacting, not always trying to control the outcome, suddenly you become a mystery. In mystery, that's magnetic. It makes people lean in. It makes them want to understand who you are, what you're about, why you're so still in a world that's constantly shouting. When you detach, you stop negotiating your value, stop giving discounts on your time, your energy, your soul. Send a message without speaking. I know who I am. I don't chase. I attract them. People feel that because most are out here begging to be chosen. But the one who chooses themselves, that's the one the world can't ignore. Detachment says, I'm good, whether you stay or go. It's not arrogance. It's peace. It's freedom. And the one who's free is always more valuable than the one who's trying to be owned. When you let go, you rise. And when you rise, people can't help but wonder how true confidence is surrender. Not controlled confidence isn't about walking into a room and thinking you're better than everyone else. It's about walking in and not needing to compare yourself to anyone at all. That kind of confidence doesn't come from control. It doesn't come from forcing things or proving points. It comes from letting go. Letting go of outcomes. Letting go of the need to impress. Letting go of trying to control how others see you. Because when you let go, you're no longer performing. You're just being. And when you're just being fully and unapologetically, that's where the real power lives. That's when you stop faking strength and start living in it. People often think control equals confidence, but it doesn't. Control is fear dressed up in a suit. It's the fear of losing something, someone, status, attention. But confidence trusts. Confidence surrenders what it can't hold and focuses on what it can. Presence, purpose, peace. Letting go says, I don't have to hold it all together to be worthy. It says, if it's meant for me, it won't miss me. And if it misses me, it was never mine. That's a different level of calm, a different level of power. People feel that. They don't just see it. They sense it in how you move, how you speak, how you stand when everything around you shakes. Confidence isn't found in gripping tighter. It's found in knowing that even if you lose everything, you're still enough. In that knowing, that unshakable center, that's what makes you magnetic. The power of inner peace. There's a quiet kind of power that can't be faked. It doesn't shout, doesn't demand, it doesn't beg for attention. It just is. That power comes from inner peace. In inner peace, that's where true magnetism lives. People are drawn to calm like it's water in a desert. Because most folks are out here drowning in chaos, reacting, chasing, performing. So when someone walks in with stillness in their spirit, it hits different. That stillness whispers, I'm not here to compete. I'm here to be. And that alone makes heads turn. Inner peace isn't about avoiding the storm. It's about being the one who isn't moved by it. The one who doesn't need to flex, doesn't need to argue, doesn't need to prove a thing. That level of commit's rare, okay? And whatever's rare becomes valuable. People feel safe around peace, okay? Respect it. They want to be near it, even if they don't know why. You become magnetic, not because you're loud, but because you're centered, grounded, whole. You stop trying to force connection or cling to people. Instead, you allow, you flow. And in that flow, you attract more than force ever could. Because when your energy says, I'm not lacking anything, the world starts believing it too. So, if you want to be magnetic, stop trying to be impressive. Start becoming peaceful. Start becoming the one who doesn't flinch, who doesn't chase, who doesn't break their spirit to belong. Inner peace isn't just powerful, it's irresistible. Your presence is your power. You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You don't need to chase attention to be seen. Real power doesn't move frantic. It doesn't beg for approval. Doesn't react to everything thrown its way. Real power is present still, unbothered, solid. When you carry that kind of presence, people feel you before you speak. You don't have to prove your worth. Your energy already speaks it for you. You're not flinching every time someone tests you. You're not explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You're not caught up in games, noise, or performance. You're still, and that stillness is strength. That comes as confidence. In a world addicted to reaction, the one who controls their energy controls the room. And here's the secret most don't understand. The moment you detach, you rise. The moment you stop chasing, you start attracting. Attachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself not to beg, not to cling, not to lower your standard, just to be accepted. It means you've learned to hold space for yourself and let go of what isn't yours to carry. People are drawn to mystery. The most mysterious thing in today's world is someone who doesn't need validation. Someone who's not trying to fit in. Someone who can sit in silence and still be powerful. When you detach, you stop handing people the pen to write your worth. You reclaim it. You stand on it. And that right there is where your value becomes undeniable. Confidence isn't about control. It's about surrender, not to people, but to the truth that you are enough as you are. You stop trying to force the outcome. You stop clinging to what's slipping away. You let it go, not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to trust what's meant for you will stay. What's not was never yours to begin with. The ones who grip the tightest often have the most to lose, but the one who walks away with peace in their eyes and purpose in their step, that's the one you remember. That's the one who radiates real confidence. Because when you let go of needing, you step into being. And nothing is more powerful than a person who's not performing. Peace is magnetic. Inner calm is rare, and people will always be drawn to what's rare. When you're grounded in who you are, when you're not moved by every wind, not shaken by every storm, you become the calm in the chaos, the eye of it all. And that's what people chase, the loudest voice with the deepest presence. So don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to stand still. You don't need to chase, fix, or force anything. You just need to be so at peace within yourself that the world can't help but feel it. That kind of energy doesn't shout. It doesn't try. It pulls. Because the most attractive person in any room is the one who doesn't need to be. Understand this. Your strength isn't in how loud you can be. It's in how still you can remain. Your worth isn't in how much you chase. It's in how much you know you don't need to. When you stop reacting, when you detach, when you let go of what's not yours to hold, you unlock a presence that speaks louder than any words ever could. The world is drawn to those who don't flinch, who don't beg, who don't need to be seen to. No, they shine. That's what makes you magnetic. Not the noise, not the flex, okay? But the peace you carry when everyone else is trying to prove something. Learn to let go, not because you don't care, but because you do care about your peace, your energy, your self-respect. Detach from what doesn't serve you. Stop chasing what's not chasing you, okay? And stand still in your truth, because the most attractive person in any room is the one who doesn't need to be.